Movements are right to act. The technological trajectory we're on is irresponsible, inequitable, and existentially dangerous. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Most of these movements are building strategies atop an architectural blind spot. The terrain has shifted beneath our feet. We're not just facing a crisis of oversight. We're facing a crisis of infrastructure. The Internet's current architecture, flat, opaque, and siloed, was never designed for participatory trust governance, contextual consent, or dynamic containment of autonomous AI agents. The platforms were designed for extraction, virality, and centralized control. Movements that attempt to bolt on reforms through policy alone, without addressing this substrate, are playing a rigged game. The mainstream narrative depends on silos. The meta layer dissolves them. What we are proposing, an architecture that leverages the composability of the web and its capacity for independently governed layers and overlays, is anathema to the mainstream narrative. That narrative depends on keeping silos intact. It thrives on the assumption that control, influence, and information governance must remain centralized within platform boundaries. But in a meta-layer future, the dominant narrative cannot survive. It becomes emergent, contextual, and immortalized across overlays governed by diverse communities. Narratives are no longer owned, they are co-created. Trust is not manufactured by platforms, but composed by networks of human-aligned actors. The meta layer dissolves the artificial boundaries that the current architecture enforces. It activates a web where agency, sovereignty, and truth are not dictated from above, but negotiated and verified in the interaction layer itself. Determined. What we need is not just a movement, but a meta-movement that connects aligned movements above the web page. One that understands that if trust, consent, and civic participation aren't built into the interface layer, no external oversight will be sufficient. This is why we are forming the meta-layer infrastructure SIG under the Internet Society. It is the first global initiative dedicated to designing the civic substrate above the web page. A layer where trust signals are composable and visible. Civic overlays allow communities to govern their interaction zones. Consent becomes a dynamic, enforceable infrastructure. AI containment happens not through back-end cages, but through interface-level cohabitation protocols. Imagine a web where communities can curate their own trusted digital commons, where AI behaves within consent-driven boundaries, and where collective intelligence flourishes in transparent, participatory spaces. We invite AI alignment movements, the Activating to Prevent AI Catastrophe movement, and all aligned initiatives to participate. This is a generational opportunity to operationalize your values in the architecture of digital interaction. Receive advisory support on making your policy demands enforceable at the point of interaction. Collaborate on interface-level governance tools that empower citizens to co-shape AI trajectories. The blind spot is clear. Strategy without substrate cannot scale. Movements that do not address the substrate are left negotiating within architectures designed to neutralize them. A meta-layered future flips this dynamic. It turns every interaction point into a site of potential governance, every piece of content into an anchor for contextual trust, and every community into a sovereign actor. The meta-layer infrastructure SIG will ensure youth-led and diverse governance structures, mobilize public digital infrastructure advocacy at a tipping point, engage technologists and designers in co-creating overlays, trust primitives, and governance scaffolds. Join us. Because the meta layer isn't a future aspiration, it's already in motion.